This week on Close Talkers, we watched Season 6, Episode 2, The Big Salad. Hello,
there.
Katie.
Hello.
Hi.
We're two podcasters
with only one brain. How'd you like The Big Salad?
I liked it.
You laughed a bunch. You laughed at Kramer a bunch.
Did I?
You
I don't
did.
even remember doing that.
Yep, you did. We got it on tape. Sorry, what did you ask me?
I asked you if you liked The Big Salad.
Yeah. I'll say I liked it better than Vulture and Screen Crush ranked it.
Okay.
I mean, we're not there yet, but
We are, though.
get there. So, The Big Salad was written by Larry David. It was directed by Andy Ackerman. It aired on September 29th, 1994. Vulture.com ranked it as the 136th best episode.
What?
And Screen Crush had it at a middling 93.
Okay. That sounds insane to me. What did they say?
One of them talked about how the funniest thing was Jerry and Elaine repeatedly saying "big salad."
What?
And like Jerry's storyline didn't go anywhere. I don't know. It was. Do you think that maybe? Well, like I mean, those articles were written relatively recently. I was gonna ask you if you think like looking back and like having the like O.J. Simpson like at the time. So this was like only a few weeks after the Bronco chase.
Oh. I figured, I knew it was the same year.
But like it wasn't like the trial, like going back and like now we have like there's so much there, right? Remember we watched, what was it? Remember when two different O.J. Simpson dramas came out like at the same time? Or like one drama and then like a ESPN expose?
Yeah, we watched those, right?
We watched? Yeah, I think so.
One of them had Sarah Paulson in it, right?
Yeah, with the perm?
Yeah. So who were the guest stars?
So this episode guest starred Wayne Knight, reprising his role as Newman. Some of the new guest stars, we had Michelle Forbes playing the role of Julie. She was in Star Trek The Next Generation.
Aha. I was like, I know this face. I know this person.
Oh, she's in a lot of stuff. She was in Battlestar Galactica. She was in The Killing. And she was on the television show The District. You don't remember? You remember her from TNG?
Yeah.
Ensign Rolaren?
Yeah.
Jerry Levine, stationary guy. He was in Teen Wolf, Everybody Hates Chris, and he directed 4 episodes of the TV show The District.
What is The District?
I don't know. It was just a common thing in both of their IMDb pages. He was really giving me like Bobo Martin Short vibes. But like,
I thought he kind of looked like a Kids in the Hall. I couldn't decide which one. Sort of Mike Myers-y also.
I was going to say a young Martin Short on horse tranquilizers.
Okay.
We had Marita Garrity playing the role of Margaret. She was in Groundhog Day. Something called Whoops. Sleeping with the Enemy. And Groundhog Day.
Very funny. You look very pleased with yourself.
Dean Hollow played Genderson. Technically, it's Gendusson.
Yeah.
He was in City Slickers, Falling Down, and Knots Landing.
Let's throw it back to last week when I asked you if you remembered this episode.
Big salad. George buys Elaine a big salad, and George's girlfriend claims thanks for it.
So?
I think it nailed it. I mean, I remembered the whole, Julie hands Elaine the salad and Elaine thanks Julie and George paid for it and he gets upset. Did not remember the O.J. Simpson storyline.
No. When it really had no crossover with the main story, I feel like you are less likely to remember it.
Yeah, sure.
The ones where they intertwine a little bit, you're like, this happened and this happened and this happened.
Yeah, yeah. And like, I mean, maybe not in this case, but like other ones I feel like, oh, I remember that storyline, but I didn't remember it was going to be in this episode.
Right.
Or, blah, 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 blah. I remember things.
I'll read the synopsis. George seeks credit for buying a salad. Elaine searches for a rare pencil. Jerry dates a woman who dated Newman. Kramer's golf game leads to trouble.
I mean, those things happened, I guess.
It all happened. When I was writing down the synopsis, I said, I already have something to say.
Okay.
I've been searching for a rare pencil.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Is it a number 2? Because I have one of those. What?
Where are all the pens? Where are all the pens? There's no pens in my pen holder here.
Well, go back to the pencil you're trying to find.
So I bought this little day planner, and it has a little holder for a tiny pencil.
Like a number 1?
It's about as long as a golf pencil, but it's really thin. It's like almost too thin for my hands to hold on to. And I was Googling, like, what is this pencil and where can I find another one in case I lose it or break it or whatever. And apparently it's a bridge pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Are they small? Like, is that a known thing?
I don't know.
But I haven't been able to find a bridge pencil.
Would you like me to ask my parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know if they have any.
It's going to open the floodgate of
them trying to teach me bridge again.
Yep.
If it gets me a supply of pencils, I will learn.
She was just in it for the stationery.
That's describes my life.
So I definitely remember this opening stand-up.
Yeah.
And like, where do all the pens go? In your life, how many times have you used a pen to completion?
Many. And it's so satisfying.
Really? I would say like max 2.
Oh, no.
So like what percentage of pens do you think you've purchased and have used to completion?
Well, lately they disappear because our kid takes my pens. But pens that I've bought, I use to completion because I buy nice pens. Work pens and stuff, no. Those would get left in meeting rooms and you just go get another one or...
Where do those go? They just get thrown out?
I think they just get thrown out.
I think they should start putting a quarter of the ink that they currently do in pens.
Isn't that kind of a waste of plastic, though? But you're right. Nobody, especially when you're not buying it, no one's using a pen to the end.
Like, we're going to be wasting the plastic regardless. We might as well not waste the ink. I mean, the ink's the important part.
I just bought some pens today.
Are you planning to use them to completion? I mean, I guess you're always planning to do that.
Fully, completely.
Till they're spent.
The ones I bought are Uniball fine.
Yeah.
No, micro.
Yeah, they're too fine. I'd be fine with a Uniball fine, but your Uniball micro is too fine. Do you remember when we started this? Remember just before the podcast, we were like, hey, let's keep this one short because the last one was too long.
Listen, I just have to set the record straight. Uniball fine is too fat and it bleeds through the paper. Uniball micro where it's at. Okay, let's move on. Are you a pencil or a pen guy? We're not moving on.
If I never need to write anything with a pen or a pencil ever again, I'll die a happy man.
So Elaine goes to buy a Rolomex 1000.
Oh, yeah. Is that a real thing? You looked it up?
I tried to. So they're talking about it as a mechanical pencil, right?
I think so.
So I couldn't find a Rolomex 1000. I did find the universally recognized best mechanical pencil in the world. It's called a Unikurutoga pipe slide.
Yeah. So is that the one that rotates the...
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I know about this.
Oh my God, you know this pencil?
Oh, yeah. It will... So, like, when you're using a mechanical pencil, right, you're writing with it, and, like, one side, like, the graphite will get, like, worn down on one side of the, like, cylinder. And, like...
You have to keep rolling it.
Yeah. You have to keep, like,
and then
turning
click it.
But this Japanese mechanical pencil rotates that as you, like, push down every time. So it, like, will, like, constantly sharpen in just the graphite into a fine point.
Every time you lift it up, it like internally clicks.
Mm-hmm.
So you never click the pen.
Yeah, you didn't.
I've never heard of this.
Oh,
I'm not a pencil aficionado. Elaine gives Jerry's phone number to the stationery guy. She says KL52390.
Mm-hmm.
In the episode where George gives Jerry's number to the unemployment office, he gives KL58383.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I looked it up and someone said that that's also the number Jerry gives for his car phone. So maybe they're both his phone numbers.
He's just forwarding one?
I guess.
I did want to talk about like Elaine not wanting to give her number to this creep.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, every once in a while on like Instagram or like whatever, you'll see like a woman had, you know, food delivered via DoorDash. And then it's like 3 days later, she gets a, hey, what's up, baby? It's like, oh, I'm like, man.
Being a woman is hard?
Yeah, it's gotta be tough.
Why did she give him her real name?
Why didn't she give Mr. Pitt's number?
I guess if he was calling Mr. Pitt, then Mr. Pitt would be mad at Elaine. He was pretty upset when Jerry called his house.
I guess so. But like, she must have a, like, oh, this is a business thing. So I gave the office number.
Sure. I think if you have a personal assistant, you expect them to receive your calls.
Yeah.
And their calls.
Yeah.
And not call you.
Yeah.
Actually, Rolomec is known for its desk pens. So all those pens that are stuck to the desk with a chain or a cable.
At the bank?
At the bank, those are Rolomec usually.
Oh. So they had a throwaway line where Jerry asks, why does Mr. Pitt prefer a pencil? And I thought that this episode was going to end differently. So that this like comes back up.
Okay.
But I'm surprised that they like planted that seed and like didn't like Elaine didn't even answer. They just run into George and Julie in the street. This was the first episode where they use what is referred to as the New York street set.
Oh, really?
And they continue to use it. It was a new set that they used for season 6 and onward, where they had like larger outdoor streets.
Not the fruit stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They invite Elaine and Jerry to lunch. Jerry had a big bowl of kicks.
This is very mature of you.
Elaine asked for a big salad from the cafe. And George is like, they have this? What do I just ask for a big salad? Jerry goes, yeah. He goes, what's in it? Jerry goes, big lettuce, big carrots, tomatoes like volleyballs.
Mm-hmm. Kicks are just unsweetened corn pops, right?
I think kicks are like a woven, it's like a shreddy that's poofed out.
That's
like
Crispix.
Oh, okay. What did you say? Corn pops?
Yeah.
Ew.
What's wrong with corn pops?
I don't know. They're gross.
Why?
And then unsweetened corn pops? I mean, I liked, what's that cat food looking cereal?
Corn Bran?
Corn Bran. I like Corn Bran. I don't know why corn pops made me say that.
If I don't need a lot of cereal, but if I had my choice between Corn Bran, Corn Pops, and Kicks, I'd probably take Corn Bran.
I mean, as an adult, yeah. I used to make my mom give it to me in a bowl, and I would eat it off the floor.
You did. So Jerry and Elaine are up in Jerry's apartment talking about how terrible dating is and how, like, watching people on dates.
So embarrassing.
We were out for dinner last weekend, sitting at the restaurant, and we were just watching other people out on dates and judging them.
The couple beside us was very clearly on a first date. They were asking real first datey questions.
And then the woman at one point like got up to leave the table.
Yeah.
And like squeezed his shoulder and then left the dining room where we were sitting. Yeah. And both you and I assumed like she had had enough of this date.
I was really surprised she came back.
So was I. So Kramer comes in. He's had a big fight with Steve Gettison. Did you know that it's against the rules to clean your ball?
I didn't know you could clean it on the green. I thought you had to clean it between holes.
So did I, actually.
I just figured like you can't pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a friendly game between people. Like,
yeah.
Unless there was money on it, Kramer's gambling problems.
True, but, he could give him a warning. Right? Before Kramer got to that part of the story, you made sure I made eye contact with you, and you made a motion of like, I thought you were dipping fries into something because you put your 4 fingers down, and then you like...
Very clearly remember how he like pantomimed cleaning a golf ball. Because without rules, there's chaos.
I was just looking up the people that Julie was talking about in the restaurant. Anna Quinlan, Bob Herbert, and Sapphire.
Oh, I was trying to read my next note, and it's a bear.
Yeah, it's a fun name to say. A bear.
A bear. A bear. It's interesting that, like, it really seemed to set up that, she was a very intellectual. George, I'll kindly say, clearly not so much. But like nothing ever really came out of that. And then she's just, so one thing that happens is Julie comes in, she gives Elaine the big salad. Elaine says, thank you. And then, Julie leaves and Elaine goes to the bathroom and George says, do you see what happened here? And Jerry says, well, that all depends.
Jerry's really riling up George.
I liked this, Jerry egging George on.
Yeah.
It was a good dynamic.
I guess it doesn't matter if you're an established couple who paid for the salad and who gets a thank you. But like, these two have just started dating. So I kind of see where George is coming from.
So this entire episode was based on a real life thing that happened to Larry David,
of course,
where he bought the editor of Seinfeld a big salad, but his assistant handed it to the editor, and then the editor thanked the assistant.
Someone hands you something, you should say thank you.
Clearly, yes. But then I guess, like, Larry got no thanks at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you have an assistant who's getting your salads, they can also get your thanks.
I guess so.
We find out that Jerry's used to date Newman because Newman shows up to talk about Kramer, and they chat, and Jerry's perplexed.
Mm-hmm.
I skipped over all of that, and I wrote like 5 or 6 lines about Newman's apartment. I
was about to say, yeah, we see the inside of Newman's apartment. What are your thoughts?
These are just the things I saw during the scene live that I could write down.
Mm-hmm.
A personal flotation device, a flutterboard, a poster of pasta shapes.
Okay.
One of those peg dartboards.
Yep.
Thingies. A little skeleton. A game called Spill and Spell. A restaurant menu by the door. A no parking sign. And a big blue penguin.
Yep. You missed the dinosaur blanket.
Oh no, I saw the dinosaur pillow.
Yeah, which was a nod to how Wayne Knight the year earlier had been in the movie Jurassic Park.
I like that. I noticed some stuff in Jerry's apartment that I don't think was there last season. He has a Mets schedule on his fridge.
No.
He also has another schedule, which I assume is a Yankees schedule.
Maybe.
Superman on his like movie shelf.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. Weird oven mitts.
Yeah, like dog and cow, they're stacked on top of each other now.
A couple of things about that, like very 90s.
Oh yeah.
I also don't see Jerry doing much baking.
No.
And not having any use for a oven mitt.
He also has a postcard or a magnet from the Skip Barber Racing School.
Oh yeah.
And a Beatles magnet.
Oh, like the band?
Yeah. Like which album is it? Like the 3 of them and then Ringo's at the bottom. With the Beatles, I think.
Sure. I would have liked to play with dolls. There was dolls in the house. Seems like fun.
It's a progressive comment from George.
Yeah. So he's like the first brony.
During this scene, they are at a table like kind of in the middle of the cafe.
Yeah, they've used this before.
But behind George is a bunch of candy by the register.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
Did you see what one of them was called?
Cherry something?
Cherry Clan.
Cherry Clan?
Yes.
Yeah.
So their like mascot were these 3 Asian-looking cherries.
Yikes.
Yeah, one had the hat, and there was like a pagoda on the box.
Okay, like, I'm going to assume the prop department didn't come up with these things.
It's a real thing.
Okay, yeah.
That was really called Cherry Clan until the 70s, and then it was called something else, like Cherry Heads or something.
Oh, huh.
So I think the prop department may have come up with.
It's like a throwback to... Are we sure that Seinfeld didn't exist in the 70s?
I was reading about it. It may have come back briefly with the old name and then was discontinued. I wonder why.
We're relaunching the old name. What we're going to pay $1 million, have it seen in the background on a Seinfeld episode. We're going to sell so many Cherry Clans. Oh my God. So Julie, the last thing she says to George is, all I did was hand someone a bag and then walks out.
And George is kind of like, just makes a face.
It's like, no, don't call me again.
Yeah.
No, I'll see you around.
Jerry and his date are in her car. And she's saying, why are you looking at my face? He goes, where am I going to look?
True. Could look at her breasts.
And he decides, can't do it.
Kiss me.
Nope. So Elaine comes back to Jerry's apartment. She bought the pencil somewhere else. She has to go and like break it to the stationery store guy, and he guilts her into a date.
This is pretty gross.
Awful. So she's depressed. George comes back in. Julie's walked out on him because of Elaine. So he's depressed, and he goes, all because you wanted a big salad. Mm-hmm. I wrote big salad dance.
I was thinking, like, I liked the, like, coming together of, like, bad relationships for all three of them. Like, I felt like that was a good inflection point.
Yeah.
But they are, like, sitting there, and the phone rings, which Jerry answers. And it's like, I don't know, turn on the TV, blah, blah, blah. You got to see this. And he hangs up. Who was calling him?
Was it Kramer from the car?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. No one is surprised that Kramer is driving a fugitive around. They just kind of like...
Alleged feud. I guess he is a fugitive. He's on the road. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They're just like, yep.
Yeah, I mean... What do you think OJ's and who was driving for OJ?
I don't remember.
If we were older, we'd remember. Do you remember where you were? I don't really remember where I was. I know it was like a big cultural moment that's like
I think
everybody remembers where they were during the Bronco chase.
I'm pretty sure we were at school.
I think it happened later.
I don't know. Maybe they were just talking about it at school.
I mean, we've talked about on the podcast how like we were allowed to watch the OJ trial during lunch, and we watched like the verdict, and everybody cheered, and
that's weird.
Yeah, it was very weird.
How long did that chase go on?
The Bronco chase?
Yeah.
I don't like a couple hours. I don't think the chase was like. Well,
like it went from afternoon to night, didn't it?
I don't know. I guess, but
I can't remember. So
it'd be funny, like if we like go and look at it, and it's like. The chase lasted 13 minutes.
Yeah. So the last stand-up, Jerry says he doesn't understand murder as revenge, like a lifetime of mind games.
Years of psychological sabotage.
And then he basically describes swatting. So the next episode is the pledge drive.
Yeah, I don't... I think this is an episode where I don't remember too much of the main story. You did have the description up on the television for a while I was sitting there.
You didn't have to look at it.
Yeah, but I'm a big cheater. So everybody's eating candy bars with a knife and fork. I was on the street yesterday. I saw a guy eating M&Ms with a spoon. Mr. Pitt eats his candy bar with a knife and fork. Everybody starts doing it. What do you eat it with? Your hands? Do you have any corrections and or omissions?
So in the last episode, they say the word grace 19 times.
Oh.
That's it.
Okie dokie.
Bye.
See you next week on Close Talkers. Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?